Sarah Palin is back, and she's not happy. David Schuster is live in Washington with the story. And, David, I don't think she ever went away. That's the key here. She's not away. She's
yeah,
talking.
That's right.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Tamara, call it Palin Unplugged. The Alaska governor's ripping into the media in a new conservative documentary. She said the accusations about her during the campaign were downright scary.
So, you know, I have the same question that perhaps you do and others who would participate in this documentary, even trying to figure out, is it political? Is it sexism? What is it that drives someone to believe the worst and perpetuate the worst in terms of gossip, lies?
Well, that's not the only thing that's got Palin upset. Just last night, her office released a statement accusing the media of unfair treatment once again. She says her comments in this new film are being taken out of context. John Ziegler is the filmmaker who interviewed Sarah Palin. And John, Palin says your decision to post excerpts on YouTube led to misleading reports. Your take?
I'm sorry that she feels that way. I don't believe that's the case. I think that what is currently posted on YouTube is fully in context and makes the governor, puts the governor in her exactly accurate light. I don't think there's any remotely accurate accusation that anything was taken out of context here, and I think that'll be very clear when we make the entire interview available, which will happen when we release the film Media Malpractice, How Obama Got Elected and Palin Was Smeared in late February.
Well, let's get to some of those clips. The Katie Couric interview in many ways started her decline in support. In your documentary, she watches as the ladies of The View react to the Couric interview. Let's take a listen.
Even in the post-election interviews, Dave, that she's done, nobody's really asked her, why didn't you answer that question?
Because, Katie, you're not the center of everybody's universe. Maybe that's why they didn't think to ask that question amongst so many other things to be asked.
Of course, that was the question about what does she read. You've been quoted as saying that Palin was assassinated by the media?
Well, I think that's accurate, although I think if anything's been taken out of context,
you think it's accurate to use the word assassinate? Wait a second. You think it's accurate to use the word assassinate in what the media, regardless of the heavy criticism, doesn't it diminish real assassinations when you throw out the word assassinate because Sarah Palin didn't like some of the questions she got in an interview?
No, I believe that her character was assassinated, David, and I think this network played an enormous role in that process. And you just took the clip of Katie Couric answer out of context, which was rather ironic since you just read the statement from Governor Palin about being concerned about this interview being taken out of context. But MSNBC is clearly the pet network of Barack Obama, and I understand that.
Well, John, even in your documentary, at least the clips that you've released, she still can't answer. At least it takes her several opportunities. She still really can't explain what she reads. I mean, isn't it? Does Sarah Palin take any responsibility?
David, you didn't. That's ridiculous. You didn't watch the clip. Apparently, she clearly
I did watch the clip, and she talked about news articles that are widely circulated in Alaska. John,
you are a joke.
The joke is the fact that you and Sarah Palin can't take any responsibility.
An agenda
John,
by
you and Sarah Palin can't take any responsibility for the fact that she wasn't prepared to run for vice president. Does she ever acknowledge in any of your interviews that maybe she had some responsibility for things not working out?
So is that your opinion, David? Is that your opinion, David, as an alleged news person? As an alleged news person, is that your opinion, that she was unprepared to be vice president of the United States?
John,
see, that sounds very objective,
John,
David.
it's the opinion of 65% of the American people.
Oh, now it's not just your opinion, it's everybody's opinion.
Give me more. Everybody's opinion who's had an opportunity to interview her except for you. And my question is, when you interviewed her, did she ever express any responsibility for her own shortcomings? Any?
I feel like this is O.J. Simpson interviewing the cops.
No, it's a yes or no answer. It's a simple yes or no answer. Did she express any responsibility for her own shortcomings?
Yes, she did. And if you had watched the YouTube clip that we released, you would have already realized that. But you've clearly seen this through the prejudiced eye of MSNBC, which has had an agenda since the beginning of this campaign, pro-Obama, against Palin. It continues
as opposed to the agenda
for
people like you to boost Sarah Palin, who is clearly unqualified. Most Americans, 65% say she was unqualified, and yet you and your colleagues are trying to circle back and get her ready for 2012. Well, I hope it's successful because we all love Sarah Palin.
I'm going to be part of her campaign in 2012. All I care about is the truth and
based on the clips that I've seen, you've already started. In any case, John Ziegler.
I see. John, clearly no agenda on your part. Clearly no agenda. Have fun.
Right.
Congratulations
no agenda
on the election,
whatsoever.
David. Good job.
But John, you know what? I love arguing with you, and you're always welcome to come back.
Thank you, David.
All right, John Ziegler's got an interesting documentary, whether you